Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Learn Physics from Home. My name is Priyanka Sen and I'm going to start a new series to help you crack NEET Physics 2020 in just 2 months. In this series, I'll try to cover up most of the important topics from class 11 and class 12 as well. So boost up your energy and let's get started. So let's start with today's topic, projectile motion. First, let me tell you what is this projectile motion. You have learned in your previous classes, class 9 and 10, vertical motion and horizontal motion. What was this vertical motion? If we throw a particle towards upward, then gravity pulls it toward downwards. And again, from a certain height, if I throw a particle downward, then this kind of motions are called vertical motions. Now, if I accelerate a particle towards horizontal, it will move certain distance. This kind of motion is called horizontal motion. Now, in case of projectile motion, if we throw a particle in such a way that it not only covers a horizontal direction as well as a vertical direction too. Here in this diagram, you can see that I have thrown a particle with some initial velocity u with the angle theta with the horizontal. Then as u is a vector quantity, we can split it into two components. One is along the horizontal direction and other is along the vertical direction. As u is the vector quantity, I can write it as u cos theta I cap plus u sin theta j cap, where u is the initial velocity. As you can see that gravity works only towards the vertical direction. So there is no acceleration along the horizontal direction. So we can say that this u cos theta throughout the journey remains same. Now, if someone asks me that what will happen with to the particle after some time t, so now I have drawn another diagram. As you can see that in this diagram, here A is the point the particle was initially. I have thrown the particle with velocity u at an angle theta with the horizontal. After some time t, let the particle be at position B, and here the velocity is v. Again, I can split it up into two components. One is along the x axis, that is vx, and another is along the y axis, that is vy. So as v is a vector quantity, I can write it as vx I cap and vy j cap. Vx is very simple. As I told you earlier that u cos theta remains constant throughout the motion. So here vx will be u cos theta. But what will happen with the vy part? Initially, along the vertical direction, u sin theta was the primary velocity. Gravity is pulling it towards downward with gravitational acceleration g. So now if I use the formula of final velocity v equal to u minus gt, then in place of u I will put u sin theta and gt. So vy, what I am getting is u sin theta minus gt. So in vector form I have written this. After some time t, the velocity of the particle will be u cos theta I cap and u sin theta minus gt j cap. Now if someone asks me that what is the maximum height attained by the particle, as you can see that a particle from here will go up to this point and again it drops to the ground. So what will be this maximum height attained by a particle? So here I am trying to tell you the formula of maximum height. I have again drawn a diagram. U cos theta is along x-axis, u sin theta is along the y-axis, and theta is the angle with the horizontal. And at this point, let this point is B, the maximum height h attained by the particle, h is equal to u square sin square theta by 2g. Now how did I get it? Let's see. At highest point, we all know that for a very small time, velocity becomes 0. So if I use this formula, v square is equal to u square minus 2gs, what I am getting? Final velocity is 0, as at the highest point the particle will stand for very little time, so v will be 0. And what is u? u was the u sine theta because I am talking about the vertical direction, and in the vertical direction the initial velocity was u sine theta, right? So I have written u sine theta whole square minus 2gh because I am wanting a formula for the maximum height h. So what I am getting, that h equal to u square sine square theta by 2g. And so now if someone asks me, then what is the time taken by the particle to reach the maximum height? That is, if I tell you that the particle from this point will attain the maximum height, then what is the time taken by the particle to reach from point A to point B? Again, I am using this fact that at the highest point, for a little time, the particle will have velocity 0. Or so using this formula, v is equal to u minus gt, what I am getting, that v is 0 because the particle will stand there for a very little time. And what was u? U was the u sine theta, that is the initial velocity along the vertical direction. So in place of v I am putting 0, in place of u I am putting u sine theta and gt. So I am getting the time after which the particle will attain the maximum velocity. Now let's move on to some new formulas. So now if someone asks me that what is the time taken by the particle to complete this journey, or sometimes it is called time of flight. Let's see this diagram. Initially the particle was at this position, at position A on the ground. I am throwing this particle with angle theta with the horizontal with some initial velocity u. The particle will attain a maximum height, then again falls to the ground, that is from A to point C. If the particle takes time t, then what is time t? That's what right now I want to get. So if you see that journey of the particle from point A to C, the vertical displacement is 0. So if I tell you that this whole journey, to complete this whole journey, it takes time t, then if I use a formula, AC is equal to ut minus half gt square, I have used this formula here. As I told you that there is no vertical displacement, so in place of s I have put 0. What was u? U was u sine theta because I am talking about the vertical displacement. So initially the vertical velocity was u sine theta, and this time t, because I am talking about the total time, and half gt square, then what I am getting, t is equal to u sine theta by g. Now can you relate something? In the previous calculation, what we have got, small t, that was time taken to reach the maximum height, it was u sine theta by g. But now for the time of flight I am getting 2u sine theta by g. So can I say that this time taken to reach the maximum height is just half of the time of flight? That's what I have written here. Time taken to reach the highest point is equal to time to reach the ground is equal to half of time of flight. That means time to reach this point and time to land on ground, these two times are equal, and it is equal to u sine theta by g, and this is half of time of flight. Okay, so moving on to the next formula. If someone asks me, then what is the horizontal displacement covered by the particle? Because till now I have talked about this vertical displacement, not about the horizontal displacement. So what is the horizontal displacement covered by the particle from A to C? So you can say that this is the horizontal displacement r. It is called range, or we denote it by r. So what is r? We have a formula, s is equal to vt, where s is the distance covered by the particle, s is the distance covered by the particle, v is the constant velocity, and t is the time. So I can say that r is equal to u cos theta into t. Why have Why I have used this u cos theta? Because along this direction the initial velocity was u cos theta. So in place of v I have used u cos theta. And what is the time? The particle moves from this point to this point, and to move this entire journey it has taken the t time. So I have used u cos theta into t. Now very simple, put the value of t, that is 2u sin theta by g, and you will get r equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. Again, another important equation is equation of projectile motion. As you have learned before, that equation of a straight line y equal to mx plus minus c, you have learned the equation of circle y square plus x square is equal to r square. You have learned this, but is it a straight line equation? Is it looking like straight line, or is it looking like a circle? No. Then what is the equation of this projectile motion? So the projectile equation is y equal to x tan theta minus half gx square by u square cos square theta. You have to remember the entire formula. Y is equal to x tan theta minus half gx square by u square cos square. Here I have written all the formulas that you need to remember to do any kind of projectile motion problems. So one is for maximum height, next is for range, next is for time of flight, and then this was the time needed to reach the maximum height, and last but not the least, projectile motion equation y is equal to x tan theta minus half gx square by u square cos square theta. Let me tell you some important points that will help you to do problems on projectile motion. You have seen there are some problems or some MCQs that we can answer within a second if we remember some points. Number one, range. If it is asked that when the range of a projectile will be maximum, then you know the formula that I have already derived, r equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. So when r will be maximum? If sin theta is maximum, and you know that maximum value of sin theta is 1. So if sin 2 theta is 1, then r will be maximum. If sin 2 theta is 1, then 2 theta is 90 degree and theta is 45 degree. So you need to remember this. When theta is equal to 45 degree, the range is maximum. And what is the value of r max? That is u square by g. Now, if it is given in the question that the range of the two particles are same, then what will be the relation between their angles? So you need to remember this. If range is same, then the angle between them is just differ by 90 degree. That is, if for one particle the angle is theta 1, then the other particle the angle theta 2 will be 90 degree minus theta 1. Okay? So, or vice versa, what I can say that if it is given in the question that if you throw a particle with an angle 60 degree and other particle with 30 degree. So that if in a question it is given that one particle is thrown with an angle 30 degree with the horizontal and the other particle is thrown with an angle 60 degree with the horizontal, then what is 60 degree with the horizontal? If it is given in the equation the other particle is thrown at an angle 60 degree with the horizontal, then you can say that their range must be equal. Now there is one more information, that if their range is same and their angle is this, what we have arrived before, then what is the relation between their heights? So their height for one particle is h1 is the maximum height and h2 is the maximum height attained by the other particle, then the relation is r equal to 4 into root h1 h2. In multiple choice question or in competitive exams, what we need to do? We need to do the questions or do the problems as quickly as possible. So if you remember this equation, you will just in seconds you will take the right answer. Okay, so next, then what is the relation between their time and the range, that if one particle time is t1 and the other particle is time t2, then t1 t2 is equal to 2r by g. So here we complete the total theory of projectile motion. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe to my channel and share with your friends. And please wait for the part 2 of projectile motion, because in the part 1 I have completed all the theory portion, and for the part 2 I will do some MCQs for you that will help you to do problems on projectile motion. So thank you so much for watching this.